ready to run.
All right, Mr. Lee, you want to call your first witness?
Yeah, I'll call Sergeant McCutcheon.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear from the information, the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Will you state your name for the record, sir?
Patrick J. McCutcheon.
And you are employed with the Summersville Police Department, is that correct?
Yes.
I've identified you as a sergeant, so you've been in law enforcement now for several years, is that correct?
Yes.
Certified then for probably at least the last 20?
Yes.
You had an opportunity to engage, or you received a call and went to a facility in Summersville, Northside Dodge Chrysler?
Yes.
And do you remember the nature of that call? It was on or about December 1st.
Yes, it was a complaint of assault and then battery.
And so you went to that scene, and did you investigate the complaints of assault and battery?
Yes.
Did you talk to a person who claims to have been assaulted by anyone?
Yes, I did.
So do you remember the name of that person?
Michael Morello was the gentleman that I spoke to.
And did he identify who he believed had assaulted him?
Yes.
How did he do that?
He described and then pointed to a vehicle that was in the parking lot and said the gentleman was in the vehicle. And he told me that I could find him there.
So he basically points him out across the parking lot.
Yes.
Did you go then to that vehicle?
I did go to the vehicle. There was a male subject in the back seat with his feet underneath him and his hands over his head, rocking back and forth while the music played inside the vehicle, but I was not able to get his attention or solicit a response from him.
What did you do when you found that going on?
When I realized I could not get him to acknowledge me, I went back to speak to Mr. Morello some more. I had attempted also to speak to employees at T-Mobile. They had told me that the actual caller, though, was in the adjacent building, which turned out to be Michael Morello.
And so on the second time you talked to him, is he still insistent that it was the fella in the vehicle who had assaulted him?
Yes.
So then you re-engage? Would that be accurate?
At that point, while I was still speaking to the gentleman that had called, there was another vehicle that pulled up to the SUV. Someone exited the SUV and got in that vehicle. Officer Alderman was there on scene. I asked him if he would simply stop that vehicle before it left the parking lot so I could ascertain who it was in the SUV that would not acknowledge me.
So this individual in the SUV, identified by Mr. Morello, gets out of the vehicle he's in?
Yes, the one in
Gets
which
in
he
another?
was. Yes.
Which was stopped?
Yes, before it left the parking lot, it wasn't even probably 100 feet.
Okay. So at that point in time, you now have suspicion of something going on, right?
Yes.
So you at least suspect that he has done something, although you weren't there, but you suspect he did something to Mr. Morello, and it's the individual who's now in the second vehicle.
Yes.
Does the individual that you engaged in that second vehicle, is he seated here today?
He is here, yes.
Okay, so that would be the defendant, Mr. Drennan, is that right?
Yes.
This is all occurring in Summersville at the parking lot of the car dealership.
Yes.
Right. So, at one point, did you put him Mr. Drennan under arrest?
Yes, after I had spoke to the caller in the matter, I went down to where the other officer had stopped the vehicle, and I did explain to the defendant what was going to happen, and I did place him in cuffs.
And at that point, was there any combativeness, maybe some signs of impairment or anything like that?
He was being verbally belligerent and appeared, based on my law enforcement experience over the previous 20 years, to be under the influence of alcohol. But at that point, it was verbally belligerent.
Did he make any comments to you about any consumption of alcohol or other substances?
Not that I recall.
Okay. So that's just based on what you thought. So at that point, you're just investigating an assault?
Yes.
And when you placed him in on handcuffs, what happened?
When I placed him in handcuffs, I told him that I would place him in my car. One of the deputy sheriffs on scene asked him why he wasn't wearing any shoes. The comment, I don't really understand why, but for whatever reason, he took great offense to that comment or that question and became physically combative, jerked away from me, and proceeded to advance on the deputy. I grabbed him and pulled him back. Alderman then assisted me in getting him back to my car.
Alderman is a city police officer.
Yes,
So then when now you have custody of him, he's under arrest.
yes,
And he's placed in what is your city issued cruiser, is that right?
yes. The cruiser that I am issued does not have a cage separating the back seat from the front seat.
So he's placed in the vehicle, and what do you do next?
He seemed to have calmed down, and I explained to him just have a seat while I talk to your mother, because that is who had come to pick him up. And I had him have a seat in my car, and while I was speaking to his mother, suddenly I heard the engine of my car rev and turned around and realized he had climbed over the seat, kicked all of my stuff into the floor, and was in the driver's seat and was basically pushing the gas pedal as far as it would go.
Was he doing any other physical movements that?
At the time and in the heat of the moment, I could only assume that he was attempting to get my car in drive. I did not know whether or not he had gotten the cuffs off entirely at that time because I could not see inside the vehicle. I raced around the car to get the driver's side door open so that I could remove him from the car before anything further happened.
So at that point, he's in the driver's seat. The car, you had left it running.
Yes.
You had him in custody and left it running. So when you come around the driver's, or to what would be the driver's side of the vehicle, are you able to see as you go around the car, through the front windshield or the side windshield?
There was no time for that. It was my imperative to get there as quickly as possible and get that door open and get him out before he was able to put the car in drive.
And when you come around and open the door, what was going on? Was he still revving the engine?
Yes, he was revving the engine and saying some things that I can't recall. I grabbed a hold of him and tried to pull him out of the car. He was trying to stay in the car and continuing to press on the gas pedal. After some struggle, he was removed from the vehicle.
And so that's generally the basis for what you believe, that he was attempting to get away
Yes.
And take that car.
Yes.
You were at the moment not certain whether or not he had uncuffed or somehow gotten through the car. Did he in fact though, when he still cuffed whenever you got him out of the vehicle?
Yes. Once we got him out of the vehicle, we determined that he had remained cuffed.
And all of those actions you described, you were also wearing body camera, is that right? That's
Yes.
not maybe important for the magistrate, but all that's captured. Other officers were present, is that correct?
Yes.
And so then you chose to charge him with a list of charges, but one's more important to the magistrate on preliminary is the attempt to steal the car and then an escape from what arrest he was under, is that correct?
Yes.
I don't have any other questions.
Ms. Margaret?
Okay. We'll just have a few. So you said you were assuming that he was trying to get the car in drive, but you did not actually see him trying to shift the gears?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. So he may have just been revving the engine to get your attention or to get someone's attention?
I absolutely could not assume what his intentions were.
Okay. But you can't say that he was trying to get it in drive.
I can't say that I observed him trying to get in drive as I made my way around the front of the vehicle.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, in your complaint, you had indicated that you arrived on scene at Northside, attempted to talk to the person in the white SUV,
Yes.
and got no response. So you went on in to talk to the caller. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Did you, so you said, okay, so you went in to talk to the caller, Mr. Morello, correct?
Yes, I had attempted to show up on scene and find out who had called. Dispatch did not give me a name.
Okay. So where did you find Mr. Morello?
He was in a portion of the building that was adjacent to T-Mobile. Originally, I had went to T-Mobile because I was under the understanding from dispatch that they were the ones who had called, but they said that they had simply locked the doors to keep the defendant out of the store, but that the gentleman next door was the one who actually had called.
Do you recall who you spoke with at T-Mobile? Just general. I mean, did you get a name? Okay. All right. So initially, okay, you said you put him in your vehicle.
Yes.
Okay. Did he get in there? You know, did he give you any trouble putting him in the vehicle?
Once he had pulled away from me and went after the deputy sheriff, who asked him why he wasn't wearing any shoes, and I yanked him back and got him under control, he seemed to calm down by the time he was back to my car.
Okay. And was your car running?
Yes.
Okay. And was the heat on?
Yes.
All right, so now you said you are the one that placed him in cuffs. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And there were other officers at the scene. Is that correct?
Yes.
How many were there? Do you know?
Not entirely sure how many. I know that myself, Officer Alderman, believe the uncertified deputy Sedlock was present.
Okay. Was Groves present? Garrett?
I don't believe Garrett was there.
Or Colton?
I don't believe Colton was there either.
Okay.
I know I know at least one trooper responded as well later.
So you placed the defendant in your car. He managed to get over the seat up into the front seat, still cuffed behind his back, and managed to put his foot on the gas and rev the engine. You all then removed him from that vehicle and then placed him in. What'd you do with him once you took him out of your vehicle? Where did he go?
I was not present for that. After we got him out of my car, I had called county to send a deputy sheriff because their vehicles do have cages. I was absolutely not going to entrust that individual in another cruiser that did not have a cage. And they had Bingham respond, and I told them that if they would simply place him in a vehicle that had a cage, if they would transport to CRJ, I would leave and I would do a complaint and a CDR so that we would not have to fingerprint him, because given his demeanor, I was not about to remove the handcuffs and risk having to fight him in the processing room.
So, all right. So apparently Bingham transported him out of there.
I am not certain who transported him. I believe that damage was done to Bingham's car after I left.
Okay.
But once he was removed from my car, I left the scene.
Okay. Can I have 1 second?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So then, and you are for sure the officer that placed him under arrest.
Yes, I put the cuffs on him, yes.
Okay, and so these felony charges are based solely on the defendant's moving from or crawling over the front seat, crawling from the back seat over into the front seat, and then putting his foot on the gas in the cruiser. Is that right? And the assumption that he was possibly trying to get it in gear.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. But you have no way of knowing what his intent was, and you cannot say that he was actually trying to get the car in gear and take it anywhere. Does that be accurate?
I cannot speak to his intentions, only to his behavior and his attitude.
Okay, so but you cannot say that he was trying to get the car in gear.
I cannot say that I saw him trying to put it in gear as I made my way
Okay.
around the front of the vehicle.
All right, thank you. All right. So, give me just 1 second, Your Honor. All right, so you have a 20-year history as a police officer?
Yes.
Have you always worked here in Summersville?
No.
Where else have you worked?
I worked for the Fayette County Sheriff's Department.
How long did you work for them?
Worked for them for 4.5 years.
Did you transfer to Summersville? Or?
I'm just going to object politely that this is not relevant to the finding. We're not finding a probable cause. It's more of a discovery effort for some reason that I don't think
I'm just trying
to the probable cause. I mean,
I agree. There's no.
trying to follow up on
You can follow
the
that
officer's
up
testimony.
in circuit court because that's not relevant here.
All right, so so you had so I'm gonna back up just a little bit. You talked to Morello. You saw so where were you when you saw the defendant get out of the one vehicle and into the other one?
I was standing there beside T-Mobile talking to the caller.
Was that inside that? Were you in the building or
No, we were outside.
outside? Okay. Were you ever able to make contact with the driver of the truck? I know you said that you were going to talk to her. That was his mother, correct?
Yes, that was his mother. I did speak to her.
Okay. And when did you make the decision? Why did you decide to charge him with attempted escape?
Because I felt he was attempting to escape in my vehicle.
And he was cuffed behind his back, correct?
Yes, when he was placed in the vehicle, he was cuffed behind his back.
Thank you. All right, well, as to...
That was a simple question, just well, that's fine.
All right, well, with respect to these two charges, I don't think I have any further questions.
I don't have any redirect.
Do you have any witnesses you want to call?
No, sir.
Got a closing?
Can we call my mother as a witness?
Your Honor, I think that the circumstances can be enough to at least convince the court of probable cause that he is
She couldn't
attempting
say
to
nothing
flee
yet.
and steal a car in an effort to do that.
You have a closing, Ms. Margaret?
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, he was placed in a cruiser, climbed over the seat. He revved the engine with his foot. His hands were cupped behind his back. The officer cannot say that he made any attempt to put the car in gear or drive it away. Therefore, I do not think that they have established probable cause with respect to the attempted escape or the attempted grand larceny. The only thing that they have established clearly here is that my client went from the back seat to the front seat and stepped on the gas. I don't believe there's been any evidence submitted that supports a finding of probable cause with respect to attempted grand larceny and attempted escape.
Well, I'm gonna find that there is no probable cause, because if you're gonna go over the back seat of a cruiser that you've been placed in and you get into the driver's seat, you're not just there to hang out, and you are giving it the gas. So I'm gonna find there is probable cause for both charges to be bound over. I think bond will just stay the same. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else from you, Ms. Parker?
No, sir, Your Honor, I'd like to get a copy of the tape.
Okay. All right. There's nothing else to be off record.
You say something here, and then a year from now we discuss it. You misstate something.
Okay, thanks.
Whether misstate something.
I will. Whatever I think.
Gives them to then try to attack our credibility. Okay, even though it might be a simple mistake, your mother is somebody who, if her credibility is attacked on the stand, she is going to get shook.
No, she's not going to be shaken.
Yeah, she was shaking.
I mean, it should have been up to me. I should have been given the option. I wanted all those questions, at least.
We're not getting those in here. Honey.
Maybe not the first one, but I mean, I already got copies of it, but.
Most of them were not. I mean, unless I told you this is a probable cause proceeding.
Right.
That's the only thing the magistrate hears. This is not an evidentiary
This is
hearing
just for
with
the felony,
respect. Just for the two felonies, yeah.
The misdemeanor charges, are we going to have like a separate case for those?
I'm not sure how they want to do that. We can either.
Is that not odd to have two separate cases? Or is two?
No, I'll explain all that
Okay.
to you if you want to walk. You want to walk over to the office?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
So, let me. I'll meet you over there. I gotta walk upstairs.
Guppy, what you don't like is bacon.
You're welcome. If you guys need some help, you can call that number again and see if they're available later. 'Cause
them a voicemail, so hopefully we'll get back.
they